Hey there, welcome to Hiking for Health CA and yet another camping review. This time of the big one we did this year. We were actually able to get a space at Yosemite National Park. That is hard to do, but if you do it in what's considered off-season, which for us was about mid-October, we were able to get a place. And they had several campgrounds that were closed. And of course, the famous thing for Yosemite is the valley, and that was pretty much full. But we were able to get a campsite at the Wawona campground area. So that's what I'll be reviewing. I'll be reviewing, amenities of the whole park. But as far as camping goes, I'm going to be reviewing hey, there goes my hand, the Wawona camp area. And for those of you who don't know, that's one of the things. When you think about Yosemite, a lot of people do not realize how big that park is. I mean, we're not talking exactly Yellowstone big, but Yosemite is not a small park, okay? We're coming from the Central Valley, like Stockton area. And so from there, we come in the 120 gate, kind of up northwest, and it was still an hour drive through the park to get to the Wawona campground, because the Wawona campground is near the southern, I think it's 140 or something like that, gate. So it's a big park, which I'll go over later when I'm talking about park amenities. But campsite itself, actual campsite, because beggars can't be choosers, and we were just kind of like, hey, let's just see if there's any openings in Yosemite. We ended up getting a campsite that was right near the bathroom. Not always our first choice, because you get a lot of traffic, you get a lot of noise going on there and stuff like that. And actually, it wasn't too bad. I mean, we got, a decent amount of people going to the bathroom and stuff. But for the most part, especially at night, it actually wasn't as noisy as I thought it was going to be. Also, sometimes when you're near the bathrooms, you're near, trash and human smells and things, and that can attract bears. We didn't have any issues with that, although there was a bear locker in the campsite itself, and we used it like we were supposed to. We didn't have any issues at all with any kind of little critters or vermin or trouble. So it was an okay site, and it was a decently secluded site. My one thing, and this is a me personal thing, sorry, but that's how a review works. We camp out of our Subaru. So we park our Subaru, we back it up to the campsite, and then we attach a tent to the back of it. We sleep in the back of the Subaru, and there's a tent attached to the back of our car for keeping our gear in and privacy when changing and all that kind of stuff. And it's worked really well for us. We got lucky in this site had a good enough pullback where we could back our car in and still put the tent up and have room, okay? And we've been able to do that everywhere else we've camped. But then the next day when we're walking around the campsite, just kind of surveying, hey, for future trips, would this work, a lot of Wawona's campsites have pull-in side park things where you're parking from the side. Now, if you have an RV, that might work, but if you're not and you're trying to camp in your car in a tent, you're right there on the road when you're doing it, and that wouldn't be comfortable for me. So yeah, I'm not saying I necessarily marked down the sites because of that, but because the site we had actually worked fine for how we camp, but most of the other sites in that thing, we were kind of lucky, would not have worked for how we do it. It just would not have worked. Yeah. So there you go. But Wawona itself in that area, other nice amenities. Like I say, there are bathrooms. I did not see showers. I think there was one, but it might be closer down to the group thing, but I think there's one for that whole part of the campground. So, and on that, but then a little further down the road, we have the Wawona General Store and souvenir spots and very friendly people who were, even the ranger who works the front gate at the Wawona Campground and stuff like that, gave us a lot of great advice on how to do things but still avoid some of the crowds, because everybody wants to go down the valley. But they're saying, if you really want a good view of the valley, here's what you should do. And we followed their advice, and you can see from the pictures, we had some really good views of the valley. It was amazing. And there were still people. It was crowded. It's a weekend. What are you going to do? It's Yosemite National Park. It is I think it's one of the most visited actual national parks in the country, you know. So, yeah, there's going to be a little crowd there. I'm running past 5 minutes again. So, amenities in the actual park? Absolutely. It's Yosemite. There's plenty to do. Right near our campsite, and then when you finally do, and we finally did drive down into the valley, you've got constantly amazing views, and you've got all kinds of amenities in the valley, restaurants, stores, all that good stuff to take care of your needs and things like that. You are going to deal with people probably any time of year that the park is open. You are going to deal with people because it's a crowded park. People all want to go visit it. That is how it is for Yosemite. But I give the amenities a plus. Campsite was fairly average, and I give the activity in the area, everything from shopping to hiking. If you're a climber, they got it there. Several really great places to climb. If you want to get reservations and try and do Half Dome, go for it. But if you want as good a view for that you would get from Half Dome, I would suggest Glacier Point. And you can even drive to that, or you can hike to it from the valley floor, or from some trailheads up near Glacier Point. You can hike to it and get some amazing views. Again, you're going to see those in the pictures and stuff like that. So, Yosemite National Park, I give a 4 out of 5. Again, for the Wawona Campground, wasn't super. The campground was okay. I have no idea if the down in the valley is better, but as far as the campground itself, it was okay. Everything else was fantastic, so a 4 out of 5. And there we go, Yosemite National Park. Yet another campground review. Hopefully we'll have more coming. I wanted to try and do, we were going to camp at Death Valley National Park, but unfortunately that fell through. For personal reasons, personal family stuff going on. So we were not able to do that. No big deal. It's not going anywhere. It's been there for quite a while. So we'll get to it maybe next year in the spring. But hey, we still got 5 really good camp trips in this year, and broke in the old Subaru. And again, that video is coming, how we converted our Subaru into camping. And there we go. That's our review of Yosemite, with hopefully more coming, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're enjoying campground reviews, and enjoying the pictures that come with them. Other than that, I will talk to you later.